Hi, I am Chrissy Clark McKee, and I am here to show you my explosion box. This is the first time I've ever made one of these, and it was really a very fun project. This is going to be a Christmas present for someone, so of course I used my Birds of a Feather Christmas kit, December kit, and I put a snowflake on top that is just a die-cut snowflake, and I layered it and added some stickles so that it would be cute. And the reason it's called an explosion box is because when you open it, it just kind of opens up, and I've got a little stars that are exploding out into it. I want to thank Esther Crafts, who showed me how to make the little figures that seem to be floating in midair, and I will cover how to do that later on in the tutorial. The really neat thing about this box is that it's got so many cute little pockets so that you could just fit a ton of pictures or journaling in here if you want. We'll start out with the back layer, which has a little pocket in the very back, and as you see, I've just done a very simple little tag. But you could make this as detailed as you want. You could have a little accordion folder, or you can, have a simple tag, just pretty much whatever you want. And then we've also got another little front pocket that has a separate tag. And then when you move on to the second layer, I've got another little card, and again, this is a Christmas present for someone, so I've left it blank, and they can just add whatever photos or journaling they want to. And then when you get to the inside layer, we actually have a little pocket that I'm trying to open the wrong way, and it's a little handmade envelope, so you can put a little memento in there or some more private journaling. And then I'm going to flip this around. The back also has another little pocket so that you can add yet an extra tag. So if you add it up, you've got room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tags or photos at the very least on each side. And times 4, that gives you at least 20 photos or journaling spots, and that's quite a bit. So do you want to see how to make this? Okay. Okay, now to make the outside of the box, you can use cardstock, but because I am going to make pockets, I want to use 2 sheets of my pattern paper. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to mark off every 4 inches on one side of your pattern paper, and then you are going to flip it around and you will mark off 4 inches on the other side. So once you have your little marks, you are going to end up scoring your paper so that basically what you have is a grid like this. And then you are going to cut out the 4 outside squares on your pattern paper once it's been scored. So as you can see, I have cut out the corners of my 2 pieces of pattern paper, and just so you can see, when we put them together, we will end up with a box outline. Now, for right now, you want to get rid of the bottom piece of paper, put it to the side, and we're going to work with the top part so that we can start creating our pockets. Now, what I have done is I have marked in the middle of each of my 4 sides, and I am going to take my circle punch. It's a little small circle punch, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball this and go down about halfway using my center mark as a guide, and I am going to cut that out so that I've got just a little indent. Then, using the corner parts that you've cut out, I just mark down the middle and I cut that out, and what I'm going to do is I am going to attach this to the front part, and I'm going to do all of these going the same way so that I will almost have a little pinwheel effect. And these are going to be some little inside pockets so that I can place tags or pictures inside. Once you've taken your 2 extra squares and cut them in half, your next step is going to be to adhere those to the front inside flap that you have cut out with your hole punch. If you want to decorate the inside of the flap, now may be the time to do it before you actually adhere the front part of your little pocket, depending on how intricate you want to be. You can adhere this with either adhesive or with glue. The choice is really up to you. As you can see, I have sewn my little triangle pockets on the front of my box, and then once I have this ready, I'm going to put the 2 pieces together, and I will end up gluing the bottom part of this to the top part of this. Now, each of these little side flaps are going to be pockets, so you want to make sure that you're only going to glue these 2 sides or these 3 sides at the most, because you will want to leave this part open so that you can insert a little card that we're going to make. Okay. When you have finished adhering your box, the outer flap, it should look like this. And if you need to make some little adjustments, go ahead and do that. Once we've decorated it, if you've got any slight flubs, trust me, nobody is going to notice. Now, our next layer of paper, so that we don't have to go blind and try to measure 3 5/16 or something crazy like that, we are going to cut this paper 10.5 inches across by 10.5 inches down. And then we are going to basically do the same thing. We are going to make our little hash marks, and we are going to make them this time at the 3.5 and 7-inch mark across, so they will all be equal. And then we will repeat the same thing as we did with the first part of our paper. We will score it, and we will cut out each of the 4 corners. As you can see, I have cut out my 4 corners, and I've scored everything so it folds into a box shape. Next, what I have done is I have gone along each side and I have marked off 1 inch. And what I'm going to do is I am going to cut the inch off of each side, and then using my corners that were cut off, I am going to then attach the corner to the back part of this, and you'll only want to adhere the sides and the bottom, and I'm going to use a border punch so that I will again have a cute decorative little pocket. Now, if you wanted, you could certainly make pockets like we did on the outside of the box, but I get bored very easily and I like a little bit of variation, so I'm going to have different pockets for this layer. Okay, as you can see, I used a simple little border punch, and I sewed along the edges so that I now have 4 little pockets. Just so you'll see where we're going with this, we're going to eventually put this inside, and our exploding box shape is coming together.